Hello and welcome to the Dating Unsettled show where we dare to date differently. This episode is called Five Boyfriends and a Dream. The inherent comedy that lies within the title alone. We love it. We have a little Jacque as our guest today, host of The Magical Girl's Guide to Life, which is another amazing podcast that you can find covering all girly, pink, flirty things. How you feeling today?
I feel good. I feel very, pink, fluffy, comfortable.
You be looking pink, fluffy, and comfortable. What I love about you and your content is that it just consistently normalizes us like embracing aspects of our femininity without being like one of those really weird, like I said, like femcel, Bible thumping, like femininity, divine pushing. It's not one of those.
Yeah. No, never that. Nah. Never that.
Never that.
That's unsettling.
Exactly.
That's unsettling.
Twice for good measure. And so instead, I find that your content is just a space where, like, I think about when I was little, how, femininity is like pushed to us, all things girly and pink and light. It's pushed on us. It's color coded. It's gender encoded. It's performative. And then you kind of go through this period where you think that by embracing all the girly things and doing the girly things, that life is going to be better for you. Men will be more attracted to you. And that's just not a priority, and it definitely shouldn't be a priority for girls. But that, exhibiting princess-like behavior earns you princess treatment. And I think as we've all grown in our like dating and love journeys, we found that that's just not necessarily the case. And so we do, or at least I did, a little bit of a rejection of that. I went from saying, oh, my favorite colors are pink and purple, wanting to fit in with the girls, to being like, actually, I like lime green. I want my walls to be lime green. You know what I mean? And I like black. Now you're trying to set yourself apart. Like one of those like little pink, like, I don't want to be a stupid girl. Push up my body. Yeah, like you start to separate yourself as a girl because you think that will earn you applause from others or comfort in your own body that's maturing, by rejecting the girly aspects of yourself that are blossoming and blooming and visible to everyone, that you'll be safe. Then you find out you're not safe or happy in that either. So finally, it's so cool to like follow your page, Adorned by Chi, which was your apparel brand, like to kind of embrace those like fun girly things later in life. Just amazing for me. So I've been tapped in with you since 2018, I feel like.
Yeah. Yes, that's
and
when
here we are now.
I remember I sent you merch and I was like, look at her go.
She sent me a shirt that's like, don't talk to me. And I wore that in Italy on the streets. And it was funny enough, it was kind of like a social experiment because I ended up getting crazy reactions of people being like, whoa, what do you mean? Don't talk to me. What? You don't want to talk. I'm like, oh God, please, buongiorno, keep it pushing. But before we get into the dating stuff, since taking your apparel brand, you published a book. Like, talk to me about what's been going on for you in your magical business life.
I'm like looking for my book. I don't even. Oh.
Let's push the book. Let's push the book.
Here it is.
Let's push the book.
Yeah. So I did become a published author at the end of 2021. Right. It's called The Magical Girl's Guide to Life. I don't like to call it a self-help book because I feel like self-help is somewhat of, I don't want to call it a scam or a sham, but I feel like the constant like trying to self-improve can like take a toll on us. But I do think that you can learn from other people's mistakes. So this is a book of all of my mistakes, but it's also like a book that kind of like, how do I describe it? I don't know if you're familiar. Of course, you're familiar with like Sailor Moon, Cardcaptor Sakura. Yes. And so it's like life lessons that I've taken from cartoons and anime and my own like misery. And then I put it in a book for people to learn from. Yeah.
And so many, I think what you do well is like you capture niche audiences and the attention of like girls, lovers, dreamers, etc., who are into like alternative types of interests, things like anime that are now becoming really mainstream, but like used to make you really different. So I just think that's dope. And it's nice that you've got this little pocket of the internet that's following you and subscribing and excited. Let's get into the dirt now. Let's get into the gritty. No, but you tentatively agreed to let me call this 5 Boyfriends in a Dream. Talk to me about dating for you and getting into partnership. I've had 2 men in my life that I've been like, this is my boyfriend. And I don't even know if that's necessarily by choice. It's just kind of what shook out or what happened. But so the 5 boyfriends, is that a real number? Talk to us about that.
Yes. And there might be one more, but there's
Who lost the 6th boyfriend?
Right. Who knows? I might be forgetting someone, but my first boyfriend, I didn't start dating until college. And so, I'm Nigerian, you know, and like,
my society. I know.
We are kind of trained to like go and find your husband. And so I didn't date all through school until college. And I was like, I'm on a mission to find my husband. And so my first target was like freshman year, but he liked Pokemon. So I was like, okay, he's Nigerian, he's a nerd, like we have to go together.
How can I lose what I've already chose? Like
exactly. I was like and it was in chemistry class, and I was like, this just makes sense. And so I made him some fan art of like his favorite Pokemon, like boxing in a ring or something. And it was a good drawing. Like it was so good. And so I don't even know why I'm telling the story, because he did not end up being my boyfriend, but he did end up being like my first kiss. And it was so weird. Yeah, it was so weird.
Well, I went from
like he put a sock on the door, which I didn't know at the time was like supposed to be a I was like, okay, we're gonna kiss. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be my first kiss. And then I was like, okay. And I was like, okay, here we go. And I closed my eyes.
Is that what you said? You were sitting there apart from him. You were like, physically sitting from him. You grabbed both your hands. You said, okay, here we go.
I was like, okay. And then I closed my eyes. And he gave me
closed your eyes? What is this, a movie? Is this a decom?
Because that's how I live my life. Like I said in the book that I only knew about like life and romance and anything from literally watching the movies and watching the Degrassi.
No.
And so that's like all I knew. And so
that's unsettling. That's unsettling.
Yeah, he gave me like a peck, and I was like, I opened my eye. I was like, that's it. And he was like,
all that work for a peck? Oh.
A peck, yeah. And then the weird part is, in that time we were sitting. Well, how vulgar can this get?
We try to keep it PG. If y'all got kids in the car,
okay.
We try to keep it at least. We keep it kids in the car. I think you about to say something wild. This ain't horrible decisions.
Okay. No, but literally nothing. It was just something weird he said, but like that was it. Just like a peck, and I was like, okay, and then never heard from again. And I was like, oh. Yeah. And so then my first boyfriend was actually my next target. And so yeah.
That's unsettling.
And so
she's got them marked.
Yeah,
if you or someone you know has Jacque their network, watch out. You are a target.
So
go get him. Go find that husband.
Yeah, my very first boyfriend was like a guy that someone else actually told me about and warned me about, and then I was like, oh, but he's Nigerian though, right? And then they were like, yeah, and I was like, okay, like the guy who warned me was his friend who had a crush on me. So I'm like, you're just trying to like throw me off his
scent. My God.
At like TJ Maxx or something. And I was like, you like, hi.
Okay.
And I was like, you know who I am? And he was like, oh yeah.
You said, do you know who I am?
Yeah, because we had mutual friends. So I was like, you know who I am? And he was like, yeah.
I love you. Like, the way that you walk through life is just precious.
It's because I didn't know any better, okay? I was just like...
Do you know who I am, boy?
And he always, when he retells it...
Your mama damn tell you who I am.
Right. Like, I'm Jackie, damn it. But yeah, so
I'm Jackie.
Like a week later, I was like,
You're
I like
gonna love me.
And we were in a relationship that lasted 6 years.
Okay, whoa. So wait, okay. 6 years.
Yes. Very long.
With this one now, you know, it's your first relationship.
That was my very first relationship, yeah.
Why do you feel like it lasted 6 years?
Because he's the only man I knew. Like, it's like, you're my first boyfriend. We had a lot of memories together. You know, we're growing up together. We're going through like college together. At some point we lived together, and then at some point it was long distance. And I don't know, that was my bestie. That was my dog. Bestie. So yeah, that's
a super non-traditional experience, though. At the same time, like,
you think so?
To be a Nigerian woman, you were like I mean, you're fresh out of college at this point. You lived with your partner. Like, in our culture, I don't know, what tribe are you from?
Igbo. Yeah.
My sister, I'm on Igbo girl as well.
Hey.
Don't you feel like it's telling us, or the instructions, the powers that be, the aunties that be, that like living with your partner is a bad idea?
Yeah. We actually lived together in college, and neither of our parents knew, so... Yeah.
It is what it is.
Exactly. And it was
okay.
lit.
So now you're getting into relationship number 2. Yes, what does dating feel like after that 6-year relationship?
So the second boyfriend was pretty much like right after, like it was like maybe 2 months later. And yeah, so the way that I met that one was actually, I received like an email from some like mysterious faceless person who was like, I saw you on Twitter, and I want to hire you. And so I was like,
that's
okay.
unsettling.
Yeah. They're like, I want to hire you to do social media, And I was like, I'm not going to turn down money. So I was like, yes. Okay. So I was doing,
you don't know who's calling you. And you said, sure, I'll work for you.
I was like, yeah.
A bag is a bag. A win's a win.
Exactly. At the time, I was like doing like social media marketing for small businesses. So I was just like, add another one. And so then I think we spoke on the phone, and I was like, wait a minute. Is this a Black man? Like, I had no idea. And so I was like, oh, for our next meeting, would you like to hop on a Zoom call? Just so I could see, like, what does this person look like?
She got him on Zoom.
I did.
She got him on Zoom.
I did.
And she heard a Black man's voice. She said, I want that man. That's my next target. And she got him on Zoom.
I did. And so...
You are not a serious person at all. You are not a serious person by any stretch of the imagination. You're not a serious woman at all.
Yeah. I was like...
You're a jokester. I'm loving this delusional energy.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I always say that. I always say that you gotta be delusional. Mm-hmm. And so we got on Zoom. I'm looking at someone who's like, looks like my age. I was like, where are you from? He's Ghanaian. Yeah. He's around my age. And then he's like in dentistry school. And so I was like, where do you live? And then not long after, I was visiting.
Wow. You were visiting. Okay, so not visiting Ghana though.
No. He lived in the United States, just in a different state.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I was ready to.
Yeah. No,
I was ready to fall out.
No.
Okay,
And so it was adorable.
I I want to know how this relationship unfolded, but we need a Mented moment real quick. Just
Dating Unsettled.
It's time for a Mented moment. This is where we interrupt the show for some beautiful reflection. So center your thoughts for just one moment and ask yourself, am I dating in the way that's best for me? Am I dating in the way that's best for me? And two, who allowed me to look this good? Who allowed me to look this good? When I want soft glam that is made for my skin tone, I choose Mented Cosmetics. Hello, it's Black owned, and it makes me feel effortlessly gorgeous. You see the cheeks today. You see the bronzer today. If you want Mented, you can have more moments. Use my code JoyOfodu for 15% off. Treat yourself to beautiful Black owned skincare products that look good and feel even better at MentedCosmetics.com with the code JoyOfodu.
Dating Unsettled.
Okay, sponsor.
Hey, do you feel like you're dating in the way that's they're an affiliate, you know what I'm saying? So they're not formally sponsored, but they're welcome to sponsor anything.
Oh yeah.
Do you feel like you're dating in the way that's best for you?
Currently, yes. Actually,
I love that.
Always yes, because I feel like I even though like when I tell these stories, people might think like it's a little reckless or whatever, or like you've dated a lot or something. But I'm like, all the people I dated have taught me lessons and taught me more about myself. Yeah. And so, yay. And so I'm still cool with like those first two people that I dated. The rest, no. But
okay, then we just need to get back in. Okay, so we have an adorable relationship with Ghana. You try it out. Ghanaian jollof is not as good as Nigerian jollof. You say, okay, thank you, on your way. What about getting into this next relationship, though? Talk to me about number 3.
Okay, let me think because things get hazy. Okay, number 3 was like, this one was weird. This one was weird. Okay.
Okay, so, we don't have to name them. That we don't have to. No.
I was not gonna name him at all, but like. This one was somebody
he doesn't even make the
like I don't even know if
the history books. This is not a Hall of Famer, okay? This is not a Hall of Famer.
So this one was like kind of, I don't want to say stalking is not the word, but being strategic with my location and their location.
So basically, you were a target.
Yes, I was the target.
You got out stalked.
I was the target, and yeah, so he was like, if I said, does anyone know, about these coffee shops or something, then he would like find a way to like insert himself. Or if we were in this group and if I was like RSVP'd to something, then he would RSVP to it and show up to like try to make sure that we were in the same places at the same time. Now, I didn't know this until later when I would like review things or he would say things and I'm like, but then we ended up like at some lunch or something at the same time because I RSVP'd and so he RSVP'd.
That's unsettling.
Yeah. And I think my car, like I had some issue with my car, so I was gonna take a Lyft and he was like, oh, I'll drive you back. And I was like, okay, because at the lunch he was very cool. And so this man lied about a lot. Like he put on a whole different personality to kind of like, I don't know, like cater to what I would want. Some people do things like that, which I wasn't aware of because up until this point, like I've had nice experiences, Yeah. And so then there was like a moment where I was like, I wasn't really taking it seriously. So I was like, okay, so I'm dating other people, and then he was like, no, like this is serious. And so I'm like, okay, so out of respect for that, I won't date other people. And then the minute I decided like, this is serious, like, it's like a whole reveal of a different person. I hated it. Hated the whole experience. Yeah.
Doctors,
and then
2 out of 10 would recommend, it sounds.
Yeah. Then that person was Nigerian as well. Yeah. So Nigerian as well. And then the next one, horrifying.
Oh.
The next one was horrifying. Like, we matched on a dating app. I guess we had matched twice, but I have a brain the size of a peanut. I'd be forgetting. So I guess we had matched once before, and then we never met up, and then we matched again, and then he was like, meet me at this place at this time, and I was like, oh, look at him taking initiative. And so
Sure.
yeah, and so he was so nice. Like, it was a nice like date and all that, but then after the second date he was like, oh, be my girlfriend, and I was like, whoa. I was like, I don't know you, but I told him, take me on 10 dates, and then
You're getting him a date counter?
I was like, if you take me on 10 dates, I'll be your girlfriend. Yeah,
You're a different breed. Okay.
But that was a mistake, because then he had like,
because he actually made it.
Yeah, so he took me on 10 dates, and like it was.
Did he do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
No. It was like over 2 months or 2.5 months, or something like that. And then I agreed. I was like, okay, you know, this has been nice. I'll be your girlfriend. This was this was cool.
This was tolerable, I guess. Yeah.
And then
this is cute.
He was also Nigerian, and then he,
of course,
flipped like a switch, and I've never experienced the level of like nastiness and meanness in my life. Yeah. Like, this man called me a monkey. Like,
no.
Yeah.
I can't even use "that's unsettling" as like a noise to follow that, because that is so
horrible.
He's Nigerian too, right?
He's Nigerian, and I was at the zoo with my friends.
So how does he have the lip? How does he have the gall, the gumption to call you monkey?
I sent him a picture. I was like, look at us. We're at the zoo. And he's like, who's that monkey next to your friend? And it was me. I was like, why would you say that to me?
I'm ready to flip this. I'm ready to throw this chair behind me. Yeah. I'm ready to throw the chair.
And so I've never experienced that before. Everybody's usually very, very nice to me. Like, even, huh?
No, dating, the theme of the show is dating is so unsettling. You have to laugh. Like, you have to laugh.
Yeah, no, I'd be laughing about it. Yeah. So there was that. He did a lot of things that like I would laugh at, that I know you would not laugh at. So I'm not even going to tell you, but it was like not good. And
anything that makes you laugh is fair game. I'm just here to support you.
Yeah.
You don't owe it to the people or to me or to anybody to rehash that. But
I wouldn't mind. I really don't mind. But I'm like, something's telling me to keep it to the chest.
let's just lock her down like the Krusty Krab secret formula. We just go lock it down.
Yes. So basically.
Okay, so now we're at 5.
Yes.
Boo,
and so,
bye.
And so this person is actually someone that I've met like years before, also Nigerian, that I've met years before. And
we're winning.
Yeah. And so
we won.
Yes, always. And so at the time that we met, I had like no interest at all, like zero interest. I was just like, cool, you know? And then I was actually like talking to someone else when me and him started hanging out as friends. And so the person that I was talking to was like, not here. Let's just say that, not here. But so I would go and hang out with the boyfriend that I have now. And then I know. And then that guy did something rude that reminded me of the really mean one. And I was so I was like, no, like I cannot talk to you anymore. And then the boyfriend that I have now was so like kind, compassionate, and everything like that, that I suddenly just saw him differently. I was like, like this person's been there this whole time, and they're so nice, understanding, and just fits me like a puzzle piece. It's like when you have those puzzles that have like 250 pieces and you're missing the one in that random corner. And then 2 years later, you find it under your couch cushion. It's like, it's been here this whole time. That's how this feels.
Interesting. So, because some girls would argue like, no guy ever wants to be my friend. All of them really want me. They want to date me and they're just laying in waiting. Do you feel like this is an example of that scenario?
Yes and no. Like, he admitted that he found me attractive and like he was reading all my tweets, and my tweets are unhinged. So I'm like, if you were reading my tweets and you still like me,
Oh, we're gonna get into your tweets. Yeah.
But he wasn't trying to pursue me. And so in the end, after like, the veil was lifted and I was like, wait a minute, like, I like this guy. He was like, I'm not trying to date right now because I have this going on and that going on. And I was like, let's do a trial period then. And I made a spreadsheet. I made a spreadsheet, and it's a performance review. So, yeah. Yep. I listed out. I'll send it to you after this. Yeah. I listed out everything that I liked and everything that I wanted. So like consistency, romance, and then
you shared it with him.
I made him write everything that he values, and then we rated each other.
You are a sick human being, and I love it. You are a twisted individual, and I love it. I mean, I think we write down this private list. I had a whole notes app of like what I was looking for in a guy. Funny, family oriented, liberal. I had all these like things, but I didn't share them with my partner until after we became partners. So it's so interesting. You used your little business plan as a net, and you said let's do a trial period. So how did he respond to that?
Oh, he was like, I could tell that he enjoyed the fact that I was like, I'm not letting, like, I see something valuable in you and I'm not going to let it go. And like,
he enjoyed that you were delusional.
Yeah. And then he was like, I'm telling you, I can't date right now. I have this, I have that. And I was like, okay, I'm willing to wait 3 months. And I could tell that he enjoyed hearing that. But then the next day I was like, here's the spreadsheet. Blah, blah, blah. Let's just do a 30-day review period and see what's up. And then so we sat together. We rated each other in front of each other. Like, he gave me a 5 on something, and I gave him like a 4 on something. Yeah. And then I left 3 options. So in 30 days, we were like, are we going to solidify the relationship, extend the review period, or remain friends? And so
that's so cute. It's like in elementary school. You're like, do you like me? Yes. No. Maybe? Question mark. That's so sweet.
Yeah. So we passed the review period, and I was like, I want to continue dating. And then he said he also wanted to continue dating, and I was like, so I feel like I won. And I'm never breaking up with this one. No more. I'm done.
You like this one.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, that's settling. Okay, this takes us into the next part, because I really wanted to talk to you about Twitter and about how you express a lot of lovey-dovey romantic things when you are in relationships. So I guess sometimes I'll be thinking it's the same one, not knowing that it was a couple different relationships, but that's cool. That's cool. So you recently tweeted, I hate that I'm such a my man type of girl, but for real, my boyfriend is so perfect. Then you corrected yourself with a meta emotion and you said, reflecting, and I don't hate this. Being mushy and lovey-dovey is okay. Dating has been hell, so I'm happy to have connected with someone who makes me feel this way. That's my boo, and I'm going to express my affection in ways that my spirit wants to without feeling of shame or fear for the future. And I think that's like, it's such a statement and a sentiment just even for us to like pause and focus on, because Twitter especially is not a kind environment. You saw baby girl shared about she takes tea in the morning with her husband, and then everybody jumped on her like, not all of us get to drink tea with our husbands. Some of us have oh my God. Like, so people have a hard time being happy for other people that they see in relationships. People are jealous, people are bitter, people are angry. People are also lonely. And so sometimes it's not even out of mean-spiritedness, but it's just, hey, it's hard for me to show up for you, either a stranger or somebody in my network. It's hard for me to show up with my joy because I'm not feeling that type of joy and I'm not confident that that's going to happen for me. So I think that's like a superhuman emotion. However, you and I have decided to sort of persevere and just share the positive aspects of dating when we feel them, because it doesn't always feel this way. Talk to me now about like the reactions that you've gotten from either on Twitter or elsewhere expressing romantic, mushy gushy things about your partnerships.
So people in my life they're used to me feeling my emotions deeply. So when I like someone, whether I'm liking them or their mask that they're putting up, I'm like, I'm going to give this person everything that I've got. Excuse me. But what made me tweet that was I saw somebody tweeted that saying my man is like witchcraftian spell that makes a man turn against you. Yeah. And I was like, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. Like,
amen.
No. And so I saw that and I'm like, why do we encourage people to like, oh, you better not talk about that man, he'll embarrass you. Don't post about that man, he'll embarrass you.
Well, because men will embarrass you, but
but they're embarrassing themselves. Like, if
correct, they're embarrassing when they're posted about them.
Exactly. Like, if I'm being nice to you and you call me a monkey, that has nothing to do with me and everything to do with you. And so it's like, I'm not embarrassed for the affection I showed you because I was being genuine. And so I don't know, if my spirit wants to celebrate someone out loud, like if we celebrate our accomplishments out loud, then why can't we celebrate our love out loud or whatever? Like, I just think it's really whack for people to discourage you to like don't show that man. Like, another girl might come out the woodwork and say, he's my man too. And it's like, good. Like, I would like to know. So I don't see how any of that's negative, you know?
And it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't reflect on you that somebody would call you anything crazy or publicly embarrass you. It reflects that you were invested in the relationship, you were happy about it, and you decided to share. And that's kind of it. And anything else people are reading in, they're projecting onto the relationship and the situation. The last thing I loved and wanted to talk about is how on Twitter, you're very open about depression and how depression affects like dating and your romantic outlook. Any thoughts on that? Like, if you think back to the early dating phase, especially for, you know, our single unsettlers who are depressed or who are struggling with depression, like what sort of advice would you give or resonant words for people who are like, I got this clinical thing that I'm hoping somebody understands whether depressed or not? Just talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah. I know people say like, you have to love yourself before you can love anyone else, before anyone else can love you. And I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that at all. I believe wherever we're at in life, we all deserve to be loved. And I think that a lot more people are a lot more understanding than we think, because I mean, like, I've dated a lot of people, like between having boyfriends, I've also had like little like people I've been talking to, and I like everybody knew, like I give everyone the heads up, like I am depressed. I talk about it. You can follow me if you want to. You can unfollow me if you want to, but this is what it is. And most people like if there are problems that arise, it's never because of that. And so I guess I would tell people like not to feel embarrassed or ashamed about feeling down. And if there is a person who makes them feel bad about like feeling down, because there's a lot in this world to feel down about, then that person just sucks and you can find somebody else.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's just a gorgeous note to end on, and the empathy that you're encouraging people to have for themselves, not other people, because we do that a lot. We're training other people to be empathetic towards people, suicide, depression, ideation, all this type of stuff. What about yourself, right? And just being open with who you are, and knowing that your love gonna come. You gonna have 5 boyfriends and a dream.
Exactly. And some nightmares in there, but like,
and some nightmares in between.
Dating unsettled.
It's the end of the show, so we have to play our favorite game. What's more unsettling? Okay. So are you ready for this?
Yes.
What's more unsettling? Someone you're dating calling you a monkey, or someone you're dating using your public RSVPs to show up at the same event you're at?
I think I'd rather be called a monkey. I'm sorry.
Will somebody please free Black people from the clutch of hypothetical situations? Everybody's been saying, but truly,
but these aren't even hypothetical. These are real. So,
and they're real. But what I'm going to say is, I think what would be more, me playing in your traumas if it's a game. I'm going to say, you think it's a game? I'm going to say what would be more unsettling. This is a comedy show. God help me.
Yeah.
What would be more unsettling to me is actually the RSVPs one. Because,
really?
Yeah, knowing that like people in anger throw out unacceptable words and statements, I would be like, damn, like, you really tried to hurt me with that. But what would be truly to me unsettling, like it would disturb my spirit, is not knowing why this person was at the same events I was at, and then realizing that they're like taking a long time creeping through forums to try to figure out where I'm physically going. That's what would unsettle me, because everybody says, not everybody, sorry, but it's more plausible to me that somebody in the spur of the moment might say something horrible or something that they regret. It's more plausible. It's not acceptable, but it's more plausible. It's less plausible to me.
Yeah.
Would stop my RSVPs. So that's what's more unsettling to me. Daters, unsettlers, what do you think is more unsettling? Please chime in with your thoughts on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok with hashtag Dating Unsettled, or just mention us at Dating Unsettled and tell us monkey or RSVPs. All right.
I'd love to know, because I think I'd rather like be called the monkey than like you said, be low key stalked. So yeah.
That's unsettling.
Yeah.
Dating unsettled.
Thanks for listening, Unsettlers. Follow Dating Unsettled for weekly episodes wherever podcasts are found so you don't miss an episode of your new favorite show. If you can't get enough of me, you can subscribe to my newsletter at datingunsettled.com. And Jackie, where can they find you?
You can find me everywhere at Jacque A. That's JACQUEAYE. My website's jacquea.com. And if you like unhinged tweets about emotions, you can follow me on Twitter.
Love that. DM me, Joy, your dating stories on Instagram at Dating Unsettled. I want to know how it's going for you. See you next week.
Dating unsettled.
Bye.